It's a new launch from Nissan. Yes, you heard me right. Nissan as a new car in the market. Here it is. It's the one that we expected, the subcompact MPV Gravite. Let's talk about this car and, well, a whole lot more with Saurabh Vatsa.
Thank you, Siddharth.
Old friends.
Thank you.
Catching us. And
Long time.
you are dressed for the part. I'm feeling underdressed now.
No problem.
But, this feeling of being festive.
Yes.
It's kind of fitting because I've seen...
Launch.
There we go. See,
Thank you.
fabulous launch. And I think it's been a long time coming. 2026 promises to be this massively action-packed year for Nissan. Huge resurgence. It's a word you're using. This car sort of kicks it off in a way. Why did you start with this and not the Tekton? Let me put it that way.
Pure product timing, I would say. And we've been working on it for long. Therefore, this comes first before the other goodies come in.
All right. So there are lots of goodies. And unless you've been living under a rock, the Tekton, of course, is the C SUV that is coming. Now, let's talk about this first up. Look, there's been a lot of anticipation, new products from Nissan. I mean, for the longest time, the Magnite was sort of holding the fort. The Magnite has done well. I think it's managed to keep that Nissan sort of credibility going as well.
Right.
Do you have a lot riding on this in terms of volume expectation, therefore?
It's both. For one, it's the first car, like you rightly said, in the series of cars which is coming. So obviously the expectation is there. For two, it kind of builds on the success of Magnite, pretty much in a similar price band. Different segment completely, but pretty much in the similar price band. Therefore, the volume expectations are also there. And we've been saying, and we said it not today but earlier, that this year, in this new financial year, we're looking at close to 100,000 units domestic, 100,000 units of export. So obviously, we're building up volume. So going from one single car to tomorrow morning when we'll be a two-car company, mainstream volume car company, it's a pretty interesting thing.
Now, are you going to tell me what percentage of that 100,000 is coming from this one?
Well, I'll tell you later, but let me bring all the three and then I'll wait.
No, but substantial percentage?
Yes, it's a substantial.
All right, so the elephant in the room question, let me get it out of the way. The car is based on an alliance car. It's also very obviously so. Now, I know that the consumer doesn't always care about these things. I think we care more. So, one, do you think you've differentiated it enough? And two, because it's based on an existing product, why did it take so long?
Well, theoretically, I'll answer your first question first. When we showed it to the consumers, they find it very well differentiated. And they find the Nissan DA strikingly coming out of this particular design, both exterior and interior. And it took us time because essentially we were focusing on bringing the entire portfolio alive. And we wanted to do it together so that you get the impact, not phase it out so far away like you only come and tell me that you lose the fizz.
Yes.
So we didn't want to lose the fizz.
And given that, I mean, look, the market's come a long way too. This particular segment, it's sub 4 meter, it is an MPV, it is a 7-seater. How large do you see that segment? Because, it will be an unfair comparison, however the consumer might make the comparison to the larger MPVs. So, from your perspective, what's the kind of pie you're looking at?
Well, this segment's pretty interesting, Siddharth. I mean, if you look at this segment's kind of not growing just organically, but it also kind of amphibiously is growing because it's pulling in volumes from surrounding neighboring segments. Whether it's hatches or it's VSUVs, this segment's kind of, pulling in numbers from there. So as the other segments are also kind of expanding, this segment's also eating in from there because the customer is very different, very unique. 7-seater option with the flexibility and modularity. It's not the 5-seat SUV buyer who suddenly just says, okay, let me buy a 7-seater. This customer is very, very specific. So like I said, people who travel with friends, large families, duality of purpose is something very, very important to this customer. When I say duality of purpose, a lot of these cohorts, they are looking at using the car during daytime for whatever businesses, small businesses that they run. Evening time, family time, weekend time, family time. They want to go from one place to another. That's when they use it. So it's that duality of purpose. They don't want to have a second car in the family yet, but they want a car to kind of serve all the purpose. So that segment is pretty interestingly growing, and it's growing with, like I said, amphibiously. So it's kind of taking in volume from surrounding segments. So that's interesting.
Is it premium enough to attract the premium hatch buyer as well, you think? Somebody who doesn't necessarily need the
Well, I would then now answer that differently. You'll have to look at the size. When you look at the premium hatch, it can go anywhere from, a certain price band to an ominously high price band. And this is in a very slotted spot because it has to appeal to that customer. It has to have its sweet spot. And which is why when you look at the entire package that we put around it, it's to give that confidence to that consumer. Give them that peace of mind that when you invest, it's not for today, but it's for a sustained period of time.
So the Magnite showed us that being light, being efficient, doesn't mean being unsafe. The car did well in crash tests. Crash safety on this one, what kind of criticism would you make?
When we tested, we'll share it with you. Like I told you when we were doing the Magnite, when we tested, we'll show you. But you saw the laundry list of features, which is on safety, which is all standard built into the car. So that's where we're heading to.
The customer expectation as well now. A lot of this stuff is looked at as hygiene. It's not even considered as fancy or luxury or premium. Makes your job tougher. Obviously makes the engineer's job tougher as well. From the learnings that you've had with the Magnite, and as you said, this is not necessarily the same buyer. How important is tier 2, tier 3, even though you can't sort of, let's say, ignore tier 1?
Well, to be very honest, we are looking at a lot of consumers who are semi-urban, who are tier 3, tier 4 based.
Was that be a specific strategy with your expansion as well, with this car in mind?
Both. So we are expanding both ways. We are going on one side to this particular set when we're getting ready for the other cars. So we're going to the other set. We've not been present in a lot of locations because for obvious reasons, we haven't pushed our partners to expand. We wanted them to kind of have the products and then expand. Our first try of refusal.
Your network's pretty good.
Yeah, my network right now is about 160 outlets. And by the end of this financial 26-27, we'll be close to 250 plus. So going to 4 key segments, we're expanding pretty rapidly. Interestingly, majority, almost 60% of my network expansion is happening with my existing dealers, which is pretty interesting. And we have a whole host of new partners who are wanting to come and partner with Nissan, which is exciting because they are now beginning to see the value in whatever we've said because it's all coming alive.
So there's a certain promise they're seeing from this.
Absolutely.
You mentioned Nissan DNA. It reflects in this car. I asked you that. I was being snarky, obviously, because in this one you can tell sort of the similarities. Your teasers on the Tekton, however, seem to promise a substantially different car from the Duster. Now, the reason I'm asking you this very directly, from a positioning point of view, it looks like you're going after premium. You're going after the well-heeled, sort of an elevated experience, if you will. Am I right?
Well, we call it the baby petrol for nothing.
You have said that, yes.
And it's truly inspired by the petrol. So while the platform is common with the Alliance partnership, we're making sure that the inspiration from petrol is coming into that because people truly do want SUV form factor and they want something different.
Like a slightly more elevated experience. No pun intended. Yes, I just realized what I said.
And that's exactly where that car's going.
Okay.
We're yet to show it to you.
I'm dying to see it.
Yeah, I know. And
drive it.
Yeah, of course. And it's going to be a very interesting vehicle when we put it on the road.
And so the last question on that would be that the product you keep showing us with the red cloth on top, which is the 7-seater.
Yes.
Again, loosely, I have an understanding on what we can expect, but that segment has been sort of hit and miss for the industry. Why do you think it's important to have 7-seater?
Again, because a lot of SUV owners are coming back and telling us that while we do have SUVs, sometimes we fall short of space because families...
And they don't want an MPV.
And they don't want an MPV.
Okay.
So the answer is simple.
And others have tried, the big volume hasn't come.
I think the point there lies in the fact that when you have an extendable platform and you can deploy it to that, why not? And on the other side, there is a specific need which is coming in from the consumers because they don't want an MP.
Markets like South Africa, many actually, I shouldn't just name one country. The potential for a car like this, the Tekton, of course, that third car as well that comes at the end of the year. How much of this keeps that strategy of exports in mind? I know you mentioned a number.
So very simple.
Specific markets, are they looking for these?
When we did Magnite, we said one car, one world. Now we are saying made in India, made for the world.
4 cars, 1 world.
Yeah. So it'll be a little funny if I say 4 cars, 1 world. But
it has a ring to it.
Yeah, I know. But what we are saying is made in India, made for the world. Because yes, we see opportunity across the markets where we are. We have very established dealerships already, distributors in those markets. Some of them already here, and therefore it's very interesting for us to see the demand which is coming from there. So getting ready for that.
So that was about those future products. So my last question is about electrification. Limited edition, small volume. I hope you can still hear us over these announcements. I'll be louder. The Leaf. I mean, this car is making waves worldwide. It's the third generation has got a lot of love, a lot of attention. I know it's a huge sort of flagship in a way for the brand globally. Why don't you bring it?
Okay, so the simple
Why don't I have a video on it?
for that is we're focusing on the mainstream ICE volume right now. While we told you last year that CBU is a very important pillar, we relaunched it, and we're looking at all sorts of options at the moment for the CBU. You said it, focus on the real Nissans. So we're working on...
You're working on hybrid with the next car. So you got electrification covered, but pure EV?
We'll come to that soon. We'll talk about that.
Soon.
Right now we're talking about this.
Why don't you tell us
Tecton.
the Leaf or an electric Nissan? Do you want to see it in our market? I know I want to see it. It's a capable product. Good luck with this one.
Thank you so much.
And can't wait to drive this too.
Thank you so much.
Thank
We'll
you for
get
your
to you very, very quickly.
Looking forward.
Thank you.